Hello and welcome to Reality TV Cringe. I am one of your hosts, Delia, here with my real tight homegirl and my daughter-in-law. So don't even try it. Don't try it. We are here today to talk about Sister Wives. We are in the process of doing a Sister Wives rewind. We are on season 4. And we've got our raccoon monocles. And we are very, very forensically investigating the cracks in the foundation of this Brown family polygamist bullshit.
and Kody's eye colors.
And his eye colors. Green, gray, brown, blue. And then you noticed that he's wearing contacts.
Yeah, dude, he's wearing colored contacts.
Do you think he's wearing colored contacts?
Yeah.
God, he is so vain.
Yeah, he's a loser.
I was looking at the merits of his hairstyle in season 4, and it's just kind of that wavy blonde do that he does. And I'm like, is that better though than the top ramen? Because it seems like it is.
I feel like the top ramen looks better because it's curlier. I mean, comparatively, they look bad either way because it's his hair. It's terrible.
Right.
He should just fucking go bald already. But I feel like if I had to pick,
really,
I probably would pick top ramen.
You would pick
it's funnier
curly girl solution. Oh my god,
he looks like Shirley Temple. Like I think that's good.
I'm thinking maybe he can't pull off the season 4 surfer waves anymore because he's like so severely balding.
It would look like a really bad comb over. That's why he got the curls.
He's got like costuming and he's got all these things he's got to do in order to have an illusion of hair. It's fantastic.
It's great.
Now, before we get into it, we do have to give you a disclaimer. Please hide your wife and hide your kids. This is a politically incorrect podcast, which means we are not here to massage your fifis. We have our own opinions and we're not going to apologize about it.
No.
So if you're down with the Raccoons, welcome to the pod. Welcome to the dumpster.
Yeah. And if you are down with the Raccoons, if you're digging our vibe, go follow us on Instagram at Reality TV Cringe and join us on Patreon, patreon.com/Reality TV Cringe. We got so much bonus content up on there. It's not even funny.
And if you are watching on YouTube, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Every little thing you do is magic and it helps us to grow the dumpster community. Thank you in advance.
Thank you.
Now, before we get into Sister Wives season 4, episode 2, we have to talk about something that's going on in the Welcome to Plathville universe, which, by the way, I'm invested.
Oh, we are addicted.
I'm obsessed.
So it's so much better than Sister Wives low key because they're crazy and there's a lot of narcissists in this fucking show.
Oh yeah, and they're younger and they're at the beginning of their journey. They haven't been married 30 years and are like trying to hide everything. They don't know how to hide everything.
Right.
So you've got Ethan and Olivia, who are former fundies. Well, sounds like he's a current fundie as well. They got married when they were very young, but they are now divorcing. We have Kim and Barry, who are the matriarch and the patriarch, and she's a drunk hoe, and he's a robot who can't feel anything. We've got Lydia, who's praying in a closet and doing other stuff in a closet. Probably doing
texting her boyfriend, sexting him.
Stuff in the closet. And we have Mariah, who's morose and fully tattooed, and it's so good. And they all sing. It's terrible.
And they're all bad.
The worst music, and we just can't get enough of it. So anyway, Ethan and Olivia are divorcing, and Olivia's always up on Instagram sharing pictures. She's a photographer, and I would say she's talented.
Yes, 100% talented.
She's also beautiful.
Gorgeous.
And so now she is starting her single era, and she's been posting a little bit, and I guess recently she made an interesting post. Beatrice, take it away.
Okay, I saw this on Instagram, and I'm like, this is crazy because she's a former fundie, but she is the most progressive out of all of the Plaths. She's also very like liberal, LGBTQIA2S plus ally,
which we love.
And so a lot of people are Olivia stans. They don't like Ethan Plath, and so she posted this photo. We'll put it right here of her posing with vibrators.
Yeah, I had to look. Like, I was like, what is that?
Yeah.
Is it a kitchen implement? Is she gardening now? What is that?
No, it's a vibrator.
Okay, I wouldn't know.
And I'm not going to read the whole post, obviously, because it's just an advertisement, because she's obviously getting sponsors for this.
Lame.
But she just said, I'm hooking you all up with the vibes.
Okay, vibe
Hashtag vibe check. And the only reason why this was interesting is because somebody commented and said, yeah, and this vibrator doesn't expect you to cook 3 meals a day. To which Olivia replied and said, and it actually makes me come. So she said that shit on IG.
Outing Ethan as a bad lover. And of course, we've spent a long time. And I think in our last episode on Patreon, we were even talking about whether he's a good lover or
and we
not.
thought he was.
Well, he's
Kinda.
got that broody kind of, you never know what he's packing. Maybe he's got something down there. Maybe he knows what to do with it.
Yeah.
But apparently he don't.
I guess, according to Olivia.
Right.
But I'm just like, is that necessary?
It's not necessary. It is so punitive.
Like, I get you guys divorced, you resent him, whatever, but like, you're already going to write a book. And I know you're going to slander him and the Plaths.
Yes.
Like, you're
100%.
totally going to spill some tea, and it's going to be like nuclear, and it's going to be crazy. So did you really have to do that? Like, it's just to jab him a little bit.
Oh, a little bit.
A
That's
lot
like
of
the
it.
worst thing you can say about a dude
On the internet.
in terms of their ego. And don't you think there's probably a fuck ton he could say about you, Olivia?
Uh-huh.
And all the
he's
shit
not?
that you did in the 4 or 5 years that you were together, and all the things that were embarrassing that you did. I mean, I'm sure that he could, but it's a matter of class. Now, I've been married 9, maybe 10, 100 times.
At least.
And I'm not out here outing people's penis size, except to you.
Yeah.
When we're not recording, or if it's on Patreon, uncensored.
Uncensored.
But I don't have a desire to hurt any of their feelings, no matter like who
Right.
they were in my life. Like, I'm just not going to go that low.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised that she said that.
Me too. And I'm like, it's not really a good look, but all of the comments, of course, are like, oh my God, yes, queen,
Slay queen.
Stan, we love it. Because they hate Ethan. And I'm like,
Right.
okay, I mean, your opinions of Ethan aside, that's fine. But it's not a fucking good look, especially if you're going to make a whole book where I know you're going to trash this whole family.
Yeah.
And drag them to filth. I don't know.
I felt bad about it.
Me too.
I don't think you need to do that. I think you can shill your booty ass We Vibes and vibrators without having to drag a man who I think legitimately loved you with his whole heart. And yeah, it didn't work out. And yeah, maybe it was Ethan who initiated the ultimate divorce.
Right.
But rightfully so. And you were going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Like, why are you taking the low road, Olivia?
Exactly. It just shows her age a bit, like
Yeah.
her immaturity, because she's
Yes.
only like 25 at this point.
And
but-
she's mean. And
Yeah.
she's been trying to hide her mean streak on the show the entire time. But I've been seeing it. I've been sussing out. I'm an intuitive, fake psychic. I saw it clearly. And now she's going to start posting like that.
Yep. And some of y'all want to come at us and say that our opinions of her are, unwarranted. But we've watched this whole fucking series
Multiple times.
multiple times.
Yes.
We've started from the beginning. We've been seeing it from the beginning. I don't know
With
how some
the
of y'all don't.
monocle, the raccoon monocle, watching every little thing.
Yep. And we're fair. Sometimes we give
Oh my
her
gosh.
credit.
Everybody can get it in that show.
Yes.
Everybody's got something wrong with them and we talk about it. But like Olivia has so much wrong with her.
Yep.
And this is like the latest thing she's done that is
Yep.
super trashy and shitty.
Super lame.
And so we're going to call it out because that's
Yeah.
what we do.
Yeah.
All right, moving on now. Let's get into Sister Wives Season 4, Episode 2 in our Sister Wives Rewind. And this one's entitled Polygamist Date Nights. And I guess the whole premise of this episode is that Kody and the producers have decided to manufacture 4 separate dates for each of the wives because we all know Cody's not out here giving a shit like that.
No
He
way.
only cares about Robyn and King Solomon and the kingdom that he's building with her.
Yep.
But we're supposed to believe that he's super excited to take his wives out for their separate dates. So is there anything like that you can offer as a takeaway, like something that struck you in this episode?
I mean, I guess that you can totally tell Cody's done with all of these, like the 3 OGs. Like, I don't think he's really into any of their dates. Like, I think they're totally out of obligation and for the producers and for the show. And I'm almost wondering if like Robyn kind of put him up to it too and was like, oh, maybe you should do this for Christine. Maybe you should do that for Meri. Like, I have a hard time believing that Kody, with how absent of a husband he is and how he just doesn't actually care about any of the wives, I have a hard time believing that he came up with these ideas himself. It had to have either been the producers and or Robyn.
Or like just a brainstorming session that the family was doing to try and manufacture content that we might want to watch that would show their polygamist family in a good light. My major takeaway is actually the beginning of the episode. And so we can start there, which is when Kody rolls up in this rose gold convertible Nissan something or other vehicle, super proud because he's driving another car that he thinks shows him to be a wealthy and affluent man. And we've got Robyn saying something like, yeah, we've been working for a marketing company and Kody's been doing so well that they gave him a car as a bonus. I immediately paused it.
You had to look it up.
Google. And I think I put Rose Gold Nissan season 4 marketing company Kody Brown, and boom, Reddit.
Oh my God, yes.
2 years ago, there was a post on Reddit. Somebody saw it and they're like, what is this car? And the consensus is, of course, that Kody and also the other wives at the time, so this is 2012, I want to say, were shilling an MLM product, this one called LIV Live.
Okay.
And somebody commented and said that MLM stands for Mormons losing money. And I can't unhear it because it's so true.
Yeah.
And you actually see them, I think, drinking this green drink, which is what this Live product is.
I'll have to pay attention for that next time.
And so with MLMs and getting a bonus of a car, what typically happens is that they lease a car and you are given the opportunity to drive it. However, if the next month you don't sell at the same level or you don't move the product like you should, then you have to pay the lease on it.
Oh, shit.
It's not like they give you a car free and clear and it's yours for the rest of your life. Like you have to continue to perform at a specific level, or else not only do you have all the inventory that you've purchased for Live, this green drink, you also have a new lease note on your dumb rose gold Nissan, whatever that is.
Oh my God. Maybe that's why we don't see this car ever again.
They are so dumb. They're really dumb.
I just thought it was stupid that he even got like a car like that. I'm like, you have 20,000 kids.
Yeah.
Like, just get a fucking SUV or something.
Or like John and 8 plus Kate with
A
their huge fucking FBI van. Driving around all their kids and their huge family. Like, why are you getting a little convertible so that you can look rich?
Oh, yeah.
So that you can look classy? Because that doesn't look classy to me. Listen, I have been on the spectrum of wealth my entire life. I was born into this world as poor as you can be. We could tell stories about that. I'm not going to do it. But poor, no running water, no food, no electricity. I'm talking poor.
Yeah.
And then I lived a really good life with my second, third, fourth husband, who was a litigator and he made a lot of money. He was a man of means, let's just say. And so I understand the life from that perspective as well. So I know what these people are doing.
Yeah.
They're thinking, Kody's thinking, I'm going to show these people who are watching me on TLC. I'm rich.
Oh, yeah.
I'm working. Yep. This is my job. Look at my car. And I'm like, it's a scam.
Yeah.
It's a scam.
That's all they do are scams.
I'm embarrassed for them.
Yeah, it's really fucking cringy. It's like the same thing with their houses too. Like they're building all these houses on this cul-de-sac. I'm like, these are huge fucking houses. Like, do you really need 4 of them that look all nice and have Meri get the fucking wet bar and like all these fancy little
she
additions?
needs her wet bar for the MLM presentations that she ultimately does. That's literally how she justifies it.
I can't. The financial decisions this family made.
I think the Vegas cul-de-sac was probably one of the best decisions that they made at the time that they sold. If they would have held instead, and then we go into fucking COVID, and now we're in 2024 when you can't get a house at a reasonable price. These are luxury builds. Luxury. Yeah. Those people trash those homes, but they would have been able to sell, I think, at a huge profit. But they're so dumb.
Yeah.
So they leave at the worst possible time where it takes a long time to move the homes, to sell the homes.
Yep.
And they don't make the profit that they could.
No, and then they buy 4 plots of land that they do nothing with.
Syphilitic, prairie dog, gonorrhea, animal, tainted land.
I know.
Then he's like, haunted land, haunted prairie dog land. And he doesn't want the developer to run utilities to the land. He's like, no, I got my bros. I'll find it cheaper. He's trying to scam me. Never brings utilities to the land.
No.
And it's going to cost you an arm. It's going to cost you a lot of money.
Yeah.
Which maybe it wouldn't be so bad if you had a lot of money.
Well, he's got all those investments, in the Dickensian Village and all of the artwork and
you
the
think
Rolexes.
Robyn's going to sell the Dickensian Village?
Maybe if they were poor enough. If they were like, babe, we're going under.
That Dickensian Village and all those paintings and all of the supplements in the kitchen, and she's divorcing his ass, and then she'll declare bankruptcy, honey, with all of her shit.
Yep. Yeah, 100%.
I'm like, why can't you guys get an actual job? I think Janelle, obviously she was a bookkeeper when they were in Utah. I think she's doing real estate at this time in 2012 in Las Vegas. But like, why aren't the rest of you working?
Because they are on TLC.
Right.
They're
And with
working that way.
MLMs.
Yeah.
This is what they do.
Yes. Scams.
I just thought it was hilarious. And then they proceed to use the same car for like every date. I'm just like, oh God. Yikes.
Because it's so romantic.
It is.
Look, the roof can come down. Look at me. I've got a sports car. Like, that's Kody. Thinking
Cringe.
he's so hot with his 4-incher dick.
With his hair, his surfer
Flowing
hair
in the
just
wind.
flapping in the wind. God, it's so good. I can't get enough of it, Beatrice.
It's pretty great.
All right. After that, we start this episode going on the various and sundry dates, beginning with Meri. Now, apparently, when they were first together, some odd 26 years ago or 22 years ago,
Yeah.
Kody promised her that he would take her skiing. And of course, Kody's promises ain't worth shit.
Nope.
And so now it's 22 years later, and he's like, finally, because the producers are making me manufacture content, I will take you skiing.
Because I'm so romantic. I remembered this time that I told you 20 years ago that I would take you, and I never did. Yeah, so now we're going to do it now.
Now
Because
we're
I'm
gonna do
the
it.
best husband ever.
And Meri is so excited.
Of course, because
She
she's so
wants
dumb.
she's been wanting to ski. I
Yeah.
thought that was wholesome.
I guess.
She just wants a man who will want to be with her.
Yeah.
And spend some time with her doing something that she likes. And so let's get to the skiing part.
Yes.
Because let me ask you, I've never skied.
Me neither.
I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
But is there a reason, do you think, that Kody had the ski sticks as somebody who skied before and Meri did not have ski sticks?
I have no idea. Maybe he took them from her. Because she was just like, "Ooh."
But you need skiers of the world, raccoon skiers of the world. Don't you need the sticks to help balance you and maybe to help you stop if you need to stop? And here's Kody with these 2 sticks
Yeah.
screaming at her,
Pushing her, really.
put your knees in, swerve this way, just yelling at her like a terrible ski instructor, which he even acknowledges.
Yeah.
And she doesn't listen to anything that he says.
Absolutely none.
And doesn't have ski sticks. And so she's just wiping out over and over and over again. And ultimately, she fucking rips her MCL.
Yeah. After he's like pushing her down the hill.
Literally.
And she can't fucking stop. Doesn't know how to stop. And he's like, just stop. She's like, I don't know how. I'm like, well, first of all, Meri, it's not like it's rocket science.
Right.
You just go to the side. That's all you do.
Or bring your knees in a little bit so the skis go in. I mean, she doesn't listen at all to his instruction and or that handsome EMT's instruction.
He was cute.
On how to stop. She doesn't listen.
Nope. And then she fucking biffs it because she's going so fast down the hill and she's uncontrolled. She doesn't have this fucking ski sticks. She falls. And she's like, I heard a pop
Yep.
in my knee. And then Kody's like, oh no. And then they get the EMT out there who's like, that's a big deal.
And it was, though.
Yeah. I mean, she tore her meniscus.
She tore it or she sprained it.
Yeah.
We don't know, but she's going to be laid up for 6 to 8 weeks. But as they're in the lodge by the fireplace, they start reminiscing about their wedding and we see the same pictures.
Over and over again.
I mean, the same pictures we saw in season 18, honey, and season 17, 16, 15. This entire time. Same pictures.
I think that's because that's all they have.
They have no other pictures.
I think they've got like 3 pictures per wife, except for Robyn.
And they talked about their courtship, which was minimal.
Yeah.
I guess he proposed to her on a Christmas Eve. He kissed her for the first time on New Year's Eve, which sounds a little ass backward to
A
me.
little bit.
And then they got married 4 months later.
And none of it was romantic, really, at all.
Right.
Because they were both virgins, both fundamentalist Mormons, so they're horny as fuck, and they just want to get married quickly, because that's pretty common.
Right.
And then they get married, and now you're stuck together for life.
Yeah, this is who you have.
Unfortunate.
Hope you enjoy it. There was footage, though, that I hadn't seen at all, and that was of Kody singing to her at their wedding. He was singing some song by Bread,
Yeah.
which I can't remember what it is because I never listened to Bread.
Yeah.
Like, who listens and sings? Maybe you do. But it
No
was
judgment.
kind of romantic. And I thought that he had a pretty good voice.
You thought so?
I'm just trying to find. Yeah, I'm
Oh my
looking for
God,
the
you're such a sap.
silver
though.
lining. He was singing to his bride, and she was sitting in one of those metal fold-out chairs.
I'll give
with
you
her.
everything.
Oh my God. I thought it was sweet.
I mean, it was kind of wholesome. And then he sang to her on the couch because she's like, you haven't sang that to me in a long time.
Have you ever had a lover sing to you?
Well, yeah.
Your wife, she's got a beautiful voice. She's my daughter.
Voice of an angel.
She has a beautiful fucking voice.
Yes.
Why doesn't she sing more?
Because she hates karaoke and she's always been told to sing.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Nobody's told her to sing. She had a great voice. She's
everybody in her life.
No.
Sing. Oh my God. Gertie,
oh my
sing.
God. At Christmas, she would sing Ave Maria. She
Beautiful.
would stand up in front of the whole family. She had a great voice.
I told her when we started dating, I'm like, all I've wanted is to sing a duet with somebody. And she's like, yeah, I'm never going to do that.
Never? That's sad. Now, her father sang to me once. We were at a retreat.
Really?
Not a retreat, but a reunion.
Yeah.
You know how they do.
Yeah.
Big old reunions every other year. And we were at the bar and he sang that Elton John song called Your Song.
Oh, I love that song so much.
First of all, he's a terrible voice.
Really?
But yes. But there's something about a man who has a terrible voice who's willing to stand up in front of a full bar and sing you Your Song by Elton John.
That's fucking cute, dude. That's the best song too.
It's such a good song.
It's such a good song.
I hear that song now, married to a whole other man,
and you still
many
feel
years later, and I'm just like, oh my God, I do remember when he sang that to me.
That is really sweet, actually.
And then my current husband,
he can't sing for shit, dude.
No, he sings like a robot in a monotone.
Yes.
He did sing Brandy.
Oh.
One time at the karaoke
Did he
bar.
actually sing it, or did he sing it in monotone?
Did. Brandy, you're a fine girl. What a good wife you would be. Just like that. But I'm like, that's sweet too.
I mean,
it's not the same.
It's the thought that counts.
So when Kody was singing to Meri, I had a little bit, I was feeling something.
Really? In your parts?
No. God, no. He's so unattractive to me.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, I felt a little twinge of love. Like, it probably did exist at one point for Meri and him. Mm-hmm. And it's sad to watch it back now, knowing the state of their relationship and how he just literally could care less if she lives or dies. But like him singing
literally. I don't want to be a part of your life at all.
Go fuck somebody else. I don't care.
Right.
So it's just like, it was cute but sad and cringy because he was out of tune.
Well, but I mean, so was my third or fourth or fifth husband, but it was still sweet. After that, we go on to Janelle and we start this date day with Janelle trying to wrangle all her kids, honey. You know,
kinda. It's Logan wrangling
right.
all the kids.
Well, there's Gabe and Garrison and they're going at it. And I guess in the last episode, if you recall, I guess Gabe punched Garrison right in the fucking face and Garrison got a bloody nose. Sounds like he deserved it. So they're still fighting.
Yeah.
Janelle's trying to tell him to separate and break up. Gabe is in charge of waking up little Savannah. He's trying to drag her off of the bed. He's taking her baby doll and he's like, if you don't wake up, I'm drowning your baby doll.
And he does.
And he does.
In the toilet.
I know. But Janelle's not there. Nobody's there.
Nope.
To watch over these children. So he does it and he gets away with it.
Of course. That's what you do in a big fucking family, I'm sure. A lot of these things go unnoticed. Look at the fucking Duggars.
Oh, I never watched that.
That shit's dark.
Is it?
Yeah.
Did they do bad things to each other?
Yes, they did bad things. You know, Doug.
I heard about that.
Yes. Like, you had to have heard
the
about
ultimate bad thing. Yeah. But I mean, oh, God.
Yeah. Because they had 19,000 children. And Jim Bob and Michelle are just like, dee, 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 dee. We love Southern Baptist.
Is it covered much the same in much the same way as Sister Wives is covered, or John and 8 plus Kate? Is it like that, but like dark undertones?
Yeah, like just they're putting on a facade for everybody. Like, we're a really happy not Southern Baptist, they're IBLP. We're a happy IBLP religious family, and we love God, and we're but you have all that shit underneath.
And they never paid their kids, which we learn. None of them ever got any money, despite all the time they were spending on TV. Yep. TLC didn't pay for them. They didn't make any accommodations for them. And then the Duggars just took all the money.
Yeah. And Jim Bob's like Kody, like all about his image, running for public office and politics and all that shit. Just caring about his image.
Sorry, your son's a pedo.
Yep.
Yikes. So Kody and Janelle, their ideal date is to go on a hike,
which is sweet.
It is sweet. And Janelle loves to be outdoors. She loves to camp. She loves some cows and some nature. She needs a cowboy in her life. This is what I think.
Totally.
And so they go somewhere in Las Vegas. And she's remarking how she can now do these types of things with Kody because she's lost 10 pounds since she was very unfairly weighed on the national stage
in front of
everybody and made to feel humiliated and shame. Mm-hmm. But she's lost 10 pounds and she's lost 18 inches. And
which is great.
She feels really good going on this hike.
Yeah, I was like really happy for her. Although felt like there was a little weirdness with Kody because she's saying all these things like, I'm really proud of myself, and he's not saying anything really. Like, and she's like, the last time we went on a hike, I think it was somewhere in Arizona, I can't remember,
in Utah, I think,
something, Red Rocks. She couldn't do all of the hikes because she was out of shape and she couldn't do some of the difficult ones. And so she's like, I'm really happy that I can do more hikes now. And Cody's just like silent the whole time. And I'm just kind of thinking, like, does he body shame her? Does he body shame the rest of these wives? Because like we hear Robyn say comments of like, oh yeah, he loves women with stretch marks. He likes curvy women. And I'm just wondering.
Yeah.
I know they talk about how they had their renaissance in Las Vegas, but I feel like he was only doing that because Janelle had the pocketbook and she was making money. I don't feel like he actually cared. I don't know. I watch back on these older seasons and I'm like, was all of this a lie? Like, were you telling the truth at all, Kody?
Well, I don't know, because when they're on the couch talking about the date that they went on, they both say that they are more in love now than they were in the beginning. And it does sound like it was difficult in the beginning of their relationship, but that they're more in love now. And Janelle is like, I see us getting older. Our kids leave. We've got grandkids. And we just continue to connect and grow closer until the day we die. And I'm like, okay, what is that? 10 years from now,
you're
going to be like, I never want to see him again.
Ever.
I don't feel the need to ever interact with him again.
And I don't even want to have another man ever again because he ruined my whole experience.
Right. That's interesting. Do you think she'd make a good lesbian?
I don't know. I don't know if she would I think she would want a big strapping cowboy dude.
Yeah.
I think she wants like a real man,
Yes, after
like
Kody.
A real man.
Yes.
With a big old belt buckle, aka dick, and just, wranglers. And
I don't think she's ever lived in this way.
No.
She's never experienced such a thing. And I want that for her.
Me
because, honey, I have.
Yeah, you do. You got a man in Wranglers.
He's a Texas boy,
He's
honey.
a Texas with cowboy boots and everything.
Good with his hands. Your father-in-law's good with his hands.
Disgusting. I don't want to hear. I have to hear about butt stuff with them.
What?
Now hand stuff.
Butt stuff.
Yeah.
Really?
I feel like one of the first times you guys ever met me, you guys were talking about butt stuff. I swear to God. She has no fucking chill. And then you were asking me if me and your daughter were scissoring.
Well, I wonder that all the time.
I know.
I still ask you that.
All the time.
The butt stuff must have been a hazing thing, though.
I think it was.
Trying to get you used to our family. Oh, Lord. Moving on now to Christine and Kody. Now, Kody straight up hates Christine.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, let me plan 2 dates where we don't have to talk and I can just run away from you and or shoot you with this gun, which is a paintball, but I'm going to pretend it's an actual gun.
But he says paintball was Christine's idea.
Uh-huh. And maybe it was. And I think she feels the same way.
I'm just like, this is like the most unromantic
totally
date. You know what I mean? Like paintball's fun, I guess.
All right.
But like, it's only fun if you like go to dinner afterwards and you're like cuddling in a booth like you are with Robyn and your guys' date. But you go on a helicopter after that, which means you're not talking because you can't hear shit in a helicopter. So
he doesn't have to, and he doesn't look at her.
No.
Like, unless he's going to shoot her.
Yeah.
He does not look at her. He doesn't want to talk to her. He says on the couch that their relationship is kind of built on the lightness in life and like having fun, or that it has been. However, the last couple of years have been pretty difficult. That's covering the time that he met and started to bone Robyn outside of the confines of marriage.
Yeah.
And so Christine's still upset about that.
Of course.
But he's hopeful that Christine and he can get back on track, which they never will.
And he's not hopeful. He's like, I'm just needing to do things to appease you so you shut the fuck up and you stop being jealous.
He's literally creating content. That's all he's doing. And he can't leave her out even though he hates her.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like whenever Kody goes over to Christine's house, she's not happy.
Yeah.
And we have this scene where because Meri has sprained and or torn her MCL, she's laid up, she's in her bed. And so Christine goes around to her house and checks on her. And then they start to have a conversation about Kody. And this was wild to me.
Yeah.
Because Christine starts sharing how, Kody and her haven't taken family pictures together. They're still struggling, that she doesn't understand, like, when is he going to realize that he needs to do more? He needs to acknowledge what's going on. Why is it always me that has to make the changes? And Meri is lying there saying, yeah, it's you.
Yeah. You just need to stop having problems, and you just need to stop caring, and you need to stop trying to get him to admit he's wrong, because that may or may not ever happen.
Right.
So just pretend like you're happy.
The only thing you can change is yourself. And that's true from like a meta perspective. Like we get it, but you are in a partnership with somebody who should take responsibility for their share of what's going on in said partnership. And Meri even acknowledges, like, you're just not going to get that from him. Sometimes he apologizes, but I mean, it takes a long time.
A long time.
And I've just grown used to it. And that's what you should do too. Just like whenever he comes over, make it the best experience for him so he feels happy and y'all have fun. And then when he's not there, work on your shit.
And Christine's like, I can't just do that though. Like, I try my hardest to be happy when he's there, but I can't ignore all of our problems, which are just becoming a giant fucking mountain now, that I can't just sweep under the rug. And Meri's just like, yeah, it doesn't matter.
Right.
She's like, literally.
I was really taken aback by how Meri was low key blaming her and putting all of the responsibility on Christine for being happy.
Yeah.
And Christine's like, so I'm just supposed to fake happiness? I'm just supposed to pretend everything's okay? And Meri's like, no, I don't think you should do that. But at the same time, he's not going to ever come around and you're annoying. I really think Meri's annoyed as fuck by her.
Totally.
I also got the sense that Kody speaks to Meri and probably to Robyn. And we all know Kody was also speaking to Janelle about his situation with Christine. So it felt to me like Meri was going into that conversation already having judged Christine for being the problem. Granted, Christine's kind of a problem sometimes.
She's annoying.
She's pretty needy.
Yeah.
But then again, this is who she fell in love with when she was 19 years old. This is the only man she's ever been with. She wants a fuller relationship with him, and he's just not giving that to her because, as we all know, in 2012, he's fucking sprung and besotted over Robyn.
100%. And I think it was in her talking head, she even talks about it like, I felt like he was balancing the three of us really well when it was just me, Meri, and Janelle. But now that there's four of us, he's not balancing it. And we all have been seeing it, obviously. Like, it's clear as day that that's happening. I think Meri knows that. Janelle knows that too at this time. I think Meri's perspective here in this conversation with Christine is like, since I've had to deal with it, then you can deal with it. So just quit your bitching. Like, it's not that big of a deal because
Look at the mountain.
I can handle it. Yeah.
Focus on something else outside of your relationship.
Right.
And how he's never going to change. So look at the fucking mountain and just be happy, bitch.
And just be grateful. I'm like, okay, yeah, be grateful, be happy for the times you have. But Christine doesn't even have that. That's the problem.
She doesn't have any friends.
No.
Because Janelle doesn't talk. Robyn don't like her at all. Meri's superior in this conversation. She's like, why don't you just do what I do? Because it works for me. And Christine's like, but does it? Because last year, he didn't celebrate your birthday with you. He didn't give you anything for your anniversary. And are you really happy? Because it doesn't look like that to me. And then they cut to Meri's face. And it looks like she actually said something that they edited out. Like she was upset.
Yeah.
And then she says, because the camera's on her, well, I mean, yeah, we had a lot going on in the family. So I didn't really get a birthday or an anniversary. And I hope I will in the future. But I'm like, and by now, also, he's melted down her ring, which we learned in season 18.
Yeah.
And says she's never going to have a claim over me again. So I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? Before Christine even brings up Kody's inability to manage and balance the marriages, she tells Meri, it's the courtship with Robyn.
Yeah.
And Meri says, you're still bothered by that. And she's like, yeah, I'm really bothered by the courtship with Robyn. And then they cut to her talking about the assimilation of Robyn into the family. But I'm like, go back to the courtship.
Yep.
Go back to what's really bothering you, Christine, which is the fact that he dated this woman, kissed her before marriage. We all know, because we've got monocles, we're raccoons, that he was fucking her on his weekends out at Robyn's place. Christine knows it. And so that's still bothering her. And has Kody made amends for that?
Absolutely not. He probably has told all of the wives the reason why that was okay was because Robyn lived in St. George. So, of course, he had to do overnight trips. It's not fair for him to make a 4-hour trip there and then a 4-hour trip back just to see her for 2 hours. Like, he was totally saying these things, manipulating all of these women into being okay with that fucked up courtship of him essentially cheating on all 3 of them, really. Because you're not supposed to do that in this fundamentalist religion and have sex and kiss each other before marriage. And then he's telling all of this shit to Meri that Meri is throwing up to Christine as well. Like, oh, just like don't bring up problems with me because I can't handle that. And maybe I'll come to you eventually.
Right.
Or like he's probably also saying things to Christine like maybe if you brought them up like more gently.
Well, he says that when we get
with
to
Robyn.
Yeah.
That's a
gently.
dig.
Yeah, it is
Which
a dig
I think is
at
just
Christine.
bullshit. I think
Right.
it's total bullshit because I think Christine probably has tried to be gentle about it. And even that doesn't work. And
because he lied.
Mm-hmm.
Because he lied. Because I think he fucked Robyn and he's not admitting it. And Christine knows it because she's an Aries and she's sussing that shit out. Meri knows it, but she's just capitulating energetically. She's like, well, whatever. I'm not going anywhere. And Janelle's just like, leave me alone. I got all these kids. I don't want to talk to you.
I'm working. I'm trying to figure out how we're going to pay all these fucking mortgages.
This is what I'm concerned about. I don't care if you fucked her early or kissed her early.
Like,
but then
whatever.
Christine had to watch season 1 when he actually leaves her in the hospital room as she's giving birth to Truly to go run over to Robyn's house
and give her a smoochy poo.
Give her a smooch. So Christine's hurt.
Yeah.
And I feel bad that she doesn't have a friend.
She doesn't have anybody.
Nobody.
To like validate her feelings at all. She's just being told she's too much. She's being dramatic. She should stop feeling all of these things. And that's shitty. And like, you know, to your comment earlier about her being needy, I was thinking like, is she really that needy if she's just asking for her husband to care about her? Like, not really.
No.
I don't think she's being out of bounds needy, like being so annoying and just demanding all of his time. Like, she's just asking for you to balance it a little bit.
Yeah, but when you withhold and somebody really wants to connect, your withholding causes them to want to connect even more. So they're chasing you now.
True.
And so in that attempt to connect, they become obnoxious.
Yeah.
They become imbalanced. I can see Christine being super deeply needy and desirous of that connection with Kody that she sees him have so easily with Robyn. And I just feel like we're on a journey of perpetual hurt until the time that she tells him across the Mormon table, the office table in her house in Flagstaff, I don't want to be married to you. There's no way that we can go on.
We're done.
Yeah.
It's just kind of interesting how she brings up the courtship and then it's edited in.
Yeah.
And she changes her story. And it's like, no, it's just because I was the third wife and I wanted to be the third wife. And now it's about him balancing his time. Maybe it was because she didn't want to come off like she was attacking Robyn because Robyn's taking everything fucking personally. Anything anybody does in this family, she takes it personally. So she didn't want to cause any problems.
Well, she's already been chastened for causing problems and to Kody's way of thinking, singling out Robyn.
Yeah.
So she's already feeling bad for having natural feelings.
Yep.
And trying to resolve them with somebody that she thought loved her. This is really sad. And I'm like, Meri, you could have done so much better in that moment.
She's brainwashed though too. She's brainwashed by this religion. She's brainwashed by Kody. She's manipulated by the whole situation. She's been the most loyal, arguably, after all of this shit. After him not fucking her for the last 10 years and she's still with him.
Right. And she's even introducing him to his new chippy, Robyn.
Exactly.
But I just hate how she's legitimately dumb. She doesn't sound smart. She's trying to give counseling advice on a situation where she's already in a terrible cycle in her own marriage. I'm like, can't you just commiserate with Christine and be a friend? She's like, yeah, I get it. Like, I've had my own shit with Kody. It gets really difficult, especially when he's over here for one night out of 4.
Yeah.
Which, as we know, it's less than that she actually gets. But she can't even be a friend to Christine. I just feel really bad.
Yeah, I feel bad too.
Super sad. Okay, moving on. We get finally to Robyn's date with Kody. We start the day. All of her kids are sick.
Yep.
Maddie's coming over that night to babysit because, of course, we're parentifying the eldest children. They're taking care of all of the kids. And just to that point, when we were at Christine's, she was talking about all the girls taking Kody to the daddy-daughter dance for Valentine's, but Gwendolyn asked Logan.
Oh, shit. Why do you think she asked him then?
Because Logan raised her.
Oh.
Because Logan, literally Logan
is her
cooked.
dad figure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think Gwendolyn also says that current day, Year of Our Lord, on her Patreon. that she relied on her older siblings much more than she did on her mother and her father. So I thought that was pretty telling when she's like, yeah, he's taking me to my dance. And here comes Logan, 17 years old. And he's giving her hugs and he's going to take her to the dance.
I didn't even catch that. That was such a non sequitur thing. But now I'm kind of wondering if like little actions like that over the years are what Kody perceives to be like Christine turning the kids away from him. Like, oh, well, why couldn't I have gone to that daddy-daughter dance? Probably because you didn't want to, because you were at Robyn's house.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like maybe he uses all of those little moments like, oh, Christine was talking shit about me to Gwendolyn.
And that's why she asked Logan. Okay, so Robyn and Kody decide to go to some whatever fondue restaurant.
Hella booty.
It looked a little booty, but they seemed so in love. They take King Solomon, who's like 3 months old at this time.
Yeah.
He's sitting there as they're making their little fondue and eating it and reminiscing about how they met.
And they are so in love.
Oh my God. They are gazing deeply
gaga.
into each other's eyes.
Yeah.
And Robyn tells us the story of how they first met, which was when she was dancing at the church. Breakdancing pussy.
In her diesel jeans.
Oh my God. Just shaking that non-ass. Shaking that non-ass. Yes, honey. And Kody was looking at her across the room. And then it was Meri who says to Kody, she's cute. Why don't you ask her to dance? But Kody was like, she's a divorcee.
She's
so
used up. Ew.
Ick. But his Father in heaven placed upon his heart
and his dick
a conviction to love this woman and her children.
Okay.
This woman need love in her pants. And her children need to be taken care of. And I'm going to answer my Father's call. And I'm going to take care of them. And so they talk about their relationship in these glowing terms. And it is clear that they are one out of everybody and all of their dates. They are so connected and they are so in love. He says a couple of things that I found interesting, which is that the reason he decided to be with Robyn was this buzzing kind of vibe
connection,
between them. It's
energy.
just always electric.
Yeah.
Which I think that's great if you weren't being so duplicitous about it.
Right.
And also another thing that he says is that he likes Robyn because she brings her concerns to him gently. And I thought,
what does that mean? What does that mean? Like, I mean, maybe she's being really sweet about it, but honestly, all that means is that he loves her and respects her. And so if she does come to him with problems or does come to him with like, hey, babe, I need you to do XYZ for me, or I need more time with you, he's going to listen to it. That's what I think. Like, I don't think he's respecting the 3 OG wives because he's really just preoccupied with Robyn. Like, it's so obvious. Like, he's so in love with Robyn. And that's fine. That's great. I'm glad you guys found each other. Whatever. I'm sure you guys have bomb sex. I think they do. I think they're probably kinky
for them
as fuck. I'm sure they love. I think it's passionate.
You think she takes it in the butt?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think they do 69 because there's a reference.
Oh, that's right. I saw
You've seen that on Reddit,
the
right?
clip, yeah.
Yes, I'm sure we'll get to it. I don't know what season that's in, but she's probably stroking the column of his dick all the time.
The column of his dick. And by the way, as she's stroking, if you could please get me this and that and pay off my debts and my Victoria's Secret credit card, honey.
Please.
And the way that she approaches him is what he values the most. But I think it wasn't so much necessarily about Robyn as it was a comment probably against Christine.
Totally, yeah.
And the way that she's handling her time with Kody and what that experience is like for him when he's with Christine.
Which
it's
is
just
so
hard.
crazy, dude.
But their marriage sucks.
Yeah. I mean, all 3 of the OG marriages suck. I think the only one that's not sucking right now is him and Janelle.
Okay. But I mean, that sucks too because Janelle just doesn't care. She's checked out. And yeah. I just like, wow.
It's really crazy to see. But like they're in the booth at the fondue place, dipping it in cheese and chocolate and whatever, and just looking into each other's eyes. Like,
and talking about when he proposed with the string ring.
That
and she's
she
got them
has.
right there in her purse. She's like, I've got the string ring. I've got your actual ring. I am so in love with you. And I'm not going to hate on that because I think she does.
Yep.
And I think Kody really loves her too. This is the genesis of their soulmate connection, which begins to outshine and co-opt all of the other relationships so that there is nobody else for him but her.
Yep.
He's got eyes only for her.
100%.
You can kind of see it and it's sad.
It is sad.
All right. So thus ends the date. And this episode ends with a birthday celebration.
Yeah, joint birthday.
Yeah, for Meri and Dee.
Yeah, which is kind of cute. I didn't know that they shared the same birthday. And I'm wondering, in the year prior, when she didn't get to have her birthday, did Dayton get to have his birthday? Probably.
Yes. The answer, of course, is yes.
So you had enough money for that.
Right.
But not enough money for Meri, apparently, or the anniversary date.
And Kody does admit that because he says, because again, Christine references this when she's having her sit down with Meri. She's like, it doesn't look like you're happy to me, like he ignored your birthday and your anniversary. And so then Kody makes it a point on camera to say, probably in response to that, that is true, that the previous year he wasn't able to do anything for her birthday or her anniversary due to time and money.
I think that's bullshit.
I wonder, because the year previous to this, they would have been in Lehigh and in the process of packing up and leaving, right?
Yeah. And I mean, I could totally understand like a birthday thing. Like that shit happens because her birthday's in January and I think it's at the beginning of January. I get it. But the anniversary, I'm pretty sure they got married in like March or April.
Yeah.
Like you could have done something and it doesn't have to be fucking expensive. Like you could have gotten a card from the dollar store and some flowers. Like it's not that big of a deal.
Right.
But you didn't even do that.
Yep.
You didn't even do the bare minimum.
Right.
Which is fucked up.
Right. And
Really
when
fucked
Christine
up.
called her on it, she got upset.
Because it's upsetting.
Just like she got upset. Well, she got upset at Christine for outing her, just like she got upset with Christine for outing her melted down ring. She did not want anybody to know.
It's too personal.
It's humiliating.
Yep. And I think she disassociates a bit from her actual feelings. That's probably why she was telling Christine, like, just ignore it, because that's what she does. So yeah, to have somebody shed a spotlight on it, it's like, oh, that's hella uncomfortable.
Right.
To have everybody know my vulnerable
And how the fuck
weak
dare you? I
spots.
hate you.
Well,
And so they have the big family get together. People cook. It's Christine. She's the party mama. So she's cooking. She's doing this whole party for Meri. And then Meri gets her present from Kody. And it is a trip to Playa del Carmen, which is their favorite place in Mexico. And she's so happy. And I'm happy for her because she's happy.
yeah.
And that's the end of the episode.
Yeah. I thought that was sweet with the Mexico trip, but at the same time, I'm like, that's just him trying to make up for not doing
Because he
anything
got
last
called
year.
out on camera, and
Yep.
by then he knows it.
Yep. And so he's like, well, I have to do some kind of big grand gesture.
Okay, so you just print it off the internet and then you have Robyn wrap it for you. So you're not doing anything really,
No,
but taking
not at
all
all.
the credit.
And then they flash to like Christine and Janelle, and both of them don't really look happy. Like they're like, oh, whatever. But I'm like, does he take them out of
No.
country? Like he doesn't. He takes them on road trips.
Right, well, he's going to take Christine to Galveston.
Ugh, booty.
Oh my God, it's the worst.
Let's talk about Galveston. Everybody in Texas thinks it's like beautiful because it's on the beach town.
I'm from Hawaii, honey.
Dude,
I know
is.
beaches.
It is.
I've also been to the Yucatan. I've been to the British Virgin Islands. I've been all over the world, and I
feel
Galveston is not it.
It is terrible.
Well, but I mean, whatever. But where was I? Like 2 years ago, was I there?
Yes.
Oh my God.
And
I
you
was
were complaining about the hotel.
fucking WhatsApping you the entire time. I was like, I'm in a COVID hotel. They had me on some sort of a duck tour where we were on the land and then we were in the water. I don't know what.
You were so unhappy.
I was like, get me out of
You're like,
Galveston.
never again.
Get me out of Galveston. So like that's where he takes her though. And when they were married for their honeymoon, they fucking took a road trip to Wyoming.
I know.
So what does Christine get? What does Janelle get?
Nothing.
What does Meri? Meri gets Mexico.
Yes.
Right?
She gets Mexico twice because they were in Mexico in like season 1 or something.
Correct.
Again for their 20th anniversary. And then she gets it again only because he fucked up and didn't do anything the year prior. So it's just a way for him to be like, yeah, see, I'm a good husband. Kind of like what he did last episode with Christine. Like, I got you the ring you wanted and it was expensive. Am I out of the doghouse
Right.
now?
Transactional.
I checked the box.
Right.
So it's just like, yeah, it's nice, but it doesn't really mean anything.
It does to Meri. I mean, the way she smiles at him and she like calls him over across the room and gives him a nice kiss, but she's very careful. And she even talks about it in this episode, like to show too much affection or connection with Kody because she doesn't want the other sister wives to feel bad about it. So she doesn't really go over the top with that. But I'm like, I think she's really happy.
Yeah.
And I just, God, it's all so sad.
I think she thinks she's happy. Like, but then how's the trip going to be, you know?
Yeah. Well, I hope are we going to see? Is it
I
going to be in
hope.
this
I don't
episode?
know.
Okay.
I don't think we do, actually.
No? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if we do.
I know they discussed the surrogacy again, but I always
Yes.
connect that to the first Mexico visit.
Uh-huh.
But I think they discussed that.
They bring it up a lot only because Robyn brings it up.
Okay.
Because she's
All
like,
right.
I'm a good sister wife. I offered surrogacy because I care.
Okay. Well, we'll get to it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Any final thoughts about this episode? I mean, obviously, I'm asking you, so I'm going to let you answer. I always do that. I ask you, then I just barrel on. But I mean, I do have thoughts.
No, it's okay. I mean, I thought it was an interesting episode to see how they were really trying to force this idea that they're like all happy and they're working on things. And I could see how like watching this season when it aired back then, you're like thinking, wow, Kody's like a stand-up guy. Like he cares about them. And, you know, maybe he's making it work with Christine and like it's good. He's trying to balance it out. Like, good job, Kody. And now with the current perspective, it's like you look back on it and you're like, wow, dude, he's been hating them for a long time.
You know, and it does lend credence to him saying in season 18, like, I never loved them. I don't believe that still, but he has not felt that love for them since Robyn came into the picture. And you can really tell in these seasons for sure.
Yeah.
I just think it's really sad. I also think they're just like colossal liars.
Yeah.
And maybe they don't know that they're lying. Maybe they're holding out for hope, like Meri, like she's hoping it's going to get better, but they are still covering for Kody and Robyn, and they're liars. I'm wondering if with like John and Kate plus 8, which I think took place 2007, 2008, around there, and season 1 we were seeing how she treated John and how they were fighting and how they were bickering. I wonder if they went into their series, the Browns, like conscious and cognizant to that, so that they are not going to show any of that, because they all seem really careful except for Christine. Who's pretty careful, but not always, to kind of curate how they appear to other people.
I think you might be onto something there. And it's probably from the place of like, we want to protect the family and we want to keep some of our personal issues private, which I mean is fair because like they're on the TV stage. Like it's not like you want your marital issues to be out. You don't want people to know that your husband hasn't been fucking you.
No, of course
or that your husband's not attracted to you. Like you don't want those things out there even when you're doing a public show. So like maybe there was that element in it and I don't think we can fault them for it. But at the same time, it's frustrating because when Christine says shit like, the issue is the courtship, and then you turn it around and say it's because of your position as a wife, and then Meri corroborates that,
right,
and is like, oh yeah, she's just dealing with not being the last wife anymore. Like it's like, okay,
you can really see how it's the golden handcuffs because they're getting paid by TLC. This is more money that they've ever seen in their whole life.
Yeah.
And you can tell because of how they act with the little money that they do get with their leased fucking MLM vehicle. Like they go crazy for that.
Yeah.
So this is the most money that they've ever received. And so now they are invested in continuing with the facade and the illusion.
Right.
Because otherwise they're going to lose their money.
And then they're going to be screwed.
Yep. Ooh, this is good.
It's juicy.
I like it a lot.
I'm liking it too.
All right. Well, we will be back later this week. We're going to be discussing the first episode of Vanderpump Rules. Honey,
I'm excited.
We're
bitch.
also continuing to cover 90 Day Fiancé, which is a shit show.
Oh yeah, Nikki sings this episode.
Oh my God, I can't wait.
It's terrible.
You know how much I love a singing reality TV star? Oh my God, I think I'll also be able to drink alcoholic beverages. When is January over?
January's over on Wednesday.
Okay, perfect. So I'll have cocktails. We'll be talking about all that shit. I cannot wait. Until then, is there anything else that we need to say to these beautiful raccoons? Beatrice.
Well, if you love our podcast, I sure hope you go onto your favorite podcast platform and give us a glowing 5-star review. It really helps us grow the pod, so thank you so much.
And until next time, never forget that we've got nothing but love for you. Peace.
Bye.
Bye, guys.